For some reason, every travel trip we've ever been on, it's always a beginning and there's an ending to the trip. Now this is travels through New Mexico in 2013, and again it's with Chuck and Dorothea behind the cameras. Now, this trip was kind of haphazardly planned. We knew we wanted to go on a trip and we didn't know exactly where we wanted to go. So we decided to go into the internet, I should say I went into the internet and looked at the 10 most scenic drives in the United States. Now one of them is around Taos, New Mexico. So that was our goal, going to Taos, New Mexico. And of course, getting from Southern California there, we had to go through Kingman, Arizona, and we also went through, I spent a night in Laughlin. But getting from Kingman to Flagstaff is on old Route 66. Why go on the interstate when you can go on old Route 66? So off we went, and the first day we found all these Burma shave signs. They were a kick. Now, the Route 66 took us to Sigleman, Arizona. This is where Route 66 had to rejoin Interstate 40. So we stopped in town, had lunch. The town is built around a tourist attraction. Everything is built around the days when Route 66 was in its heyday. So there's a lot of neat artifacts and old cars and people in costumes. It's just a fun place to stop. Actually, this is a great tourist place because the big tour buses come in here and spend a day too. Welcome to Flagstaff, Arizona. Now, Dorothea and I have been to Flagstaff many times, and there's a lot of national parks, national monuments, and just some good sightseeing in and around the Flagstaff area. So Dorothea and I decided we wanted to go out into the countryside up towards Snowbowl. Snowbowl is a ski resort area, and take pictures of the fall foliage. This is early October, and the trees are in beautiful color. Welcome to the Holy Dove Chapel. Now this little chapel is a tiny little thing. It's right alongside the highway. There's nothing else around it. It's out in the middle of the forest. But it's a very cute little chapel. It's got pews and a pulpit and a Bible. What else do you need? Dorothea is using the camera to take videos, and she is shooting into the rear vision mirror on the passenger side. Kind of a unique effect. Now this is Highway 180 going out towards the Snowball, and we came across a beautiful museum and of course walked through it, took some pictures, and just enjoyed ourselves looking at all the Indian culture and the history around Flagstaff. One of the things I always enjoy doing is going down to the Flagstaff Amtrak Railroad Station and videotaping trains going by. I don't know why, I just like to watch trains go by. From Flagstaff, we drove to Albuquerque, New Mexico with a one-night stand in Gallup, New Mexico. Now, we did take a little side trip down to St. John's to look at some ruins and also look at the petrified forest. And what we got was closed signs. This was right when the national parks were closed down because of the budget cuts. Now, we came to Albuquerque for a couple reasons. One was the Balloon Festival. We had been here a couple years ago, but we didn't get any videos of the night light up. That's always spectacular, and I got some good video on that. Second thing is we have a good friend by the name of Zizi, a lady we met on a cruise ship. So that was a double purpose. Well, if you find a zoo, Dorothea will go to it. She is just a zoo-happy type person. Got some beautiful photography and some videos, but the best part in here is when we got to the baby elephant. We'll have to show you that.
Oh, Mama, it's your babies. Oh my God, how would you like to carry them in your stomach? Hi there. Oh, you're pretty. You're pretty. Look at that.
Now, this is a freshly born baby elephant. I don't remember what it was, 2, maybe 3 weeks old. But the mother is very protective, and they go for walks together. Very social creatures.
Go away from Mommy.
I get a chuckle out of my wife. She's going through all these oohs and ahs of the little baby elephant.
Oh.
Got that little hairdo on the head there.
Oh, look at
I suppose the zoo should have a train to ride on. Now this is what we missed the last time in Albuquerque, and that was the nighttime light up of all the balloons. Just spectacular. Now they had to only left the balloons up for about an hour because there was a wind advisory, and so they started dismantling the balloons about an hour after the light up started. And then of course they ended with a fireworks display. Say that again? I don't know. Oh, it's like Snoopy? We have no idea what this was all about, but people were throwing their shoes with laces to catch that rope up there. This is Camel Rock, and it's just outside of a Camel Rock casino. And for some reason, our car will not drive past a casino. In Santa Fe, there is a famous chapel called the Loretto Chapel. There is a staircase in there that is just spectacular. It was built back in about 1887. They discovered there was no way to get up to the choir loft, and they prayed for a carpenter, and about 10 days later a carpenter showed up and built this staircase without the use of nails. And they've taken x-rays and to see how it was put together. But it was quite a miracle, and it is quite an attraction. It is a beautiful little chapel. one night in Santa Fe and then on towards Taos. Now this is the highlight of the trip. This is a 70-mile scenic drive around a mountain from Taos back to Taos. It is considered one of the top 10 scenic drives in the United States. And it's just full of beautiful colors, as this is October and the trees are changing and it's just gorgeous. This is a beautiful bridge over the Rio Grande River near Taos, New Mexico. So Dorothea and I start off on our little drive for the day, going around this entire mountain, taking pictures of the changing colors of the trees. It's a beautiful highway. There's little lakes and streams along the way, old bridges. So we just went nuts with the camera and took a lot of pictures. We stopped in a little town called Red River at a restaurant and had lunch. And for lunch, I don't remember what Dorothea had, but I heard that this chocolate cake they had was just outstanding. So I had to have a piece of the chocolate cake. It was outstanding, but so was the price. I think that piece of cake must have cost close to $10. This is called the Taos Pueblo, and it is the old part of town, way back about the time the Spaniards hit here. And this was so worthwhile seeing that we actually came back a second day and really will walk through this place. This was another day trip from Taos back to Taos by way of Las Vegas, New Mexico. Not Las Vegas, Nevada, but Las Vegas, New Mexico. And we got up in the mornings and the car had heavy frost on it. It looked almost like it had snowed. Anyway, it was another lovely drive with the colored trees and clear down to a town called Las Vegas. After spending 3 nights in Taos, we headed west towards Farmington, New Mexico, 187 miles. What was a surprise for us was we woke up in the morning and it was snowing. So we drove a long ways in the snow. Walking from our motel room back over to the registration desk where the coffee was, it was snowing. I called Dorothea. She couldn't believe it. We were in the middle of a snowstorm. It was the very first snowfall for that year in Taos. Now the snow coming down was quite light, and so far when the snow hit the pavement, it melted immediately. So the driving was pretty good. We had to keep the speed down, but look at the snow on both sides. For a couple of people living in Southern California, this is fun to see. Now somewhere in here we pulled off the road to take these photographs, and I was busy shooting photographs when I turned around to face the car, and Dorothea was on the other side of the car, and she had made a snowball. And she threw that snowball left-handed and hit me right in the kisser. I mean, right smack dab in the face. She is so pleased with herself that she remembers that several years later. The snow on this old deserted corral was rather photogenic. Now remember, this time of the year the trees have started to change color, so in some places we've had the yellow and the green and the red all mixed together with a snow background. Very, very beautiful. The snow is still coming down. It's just not coming down very hard. As you can see, we got good visibility. The fall colors are pretty. The yellow and the green mixed with the white snow. Now this was the first area we came to where the snow was not melting off the road, and they had the snow removers, the big plow trucks out there scraping the pavement clean. We finally drove out of the snow into bright clear sunshine and into Farmington, New Mexico. The fall colors are just gorgeous. There was a beautiful 9-hole golf course in Farmington. Of course, I had to play. Now, Dorothea walked with me, and she had a camera in hand. And all the pretty trees she had to take pictures of. But she did a very good job of taking pictures. From Farmington, we headed south to Socorro, spent the night there, and then on to Alamogordo the following day. There really wasn't a whole lot to see headed south, except we did pass a famous area called Ship Rock. That is sand blowing across the road. It was high wind conditions, and that is sand. We stopped at a rest stop, and I just got a kick out of this sign. You do not wander off the pavement in this place.
Alright, we're outside of Socorro, New Mexico. And this is a bird refuge here, or just a part of a very large bird refuge.
There's a huge wildlife preserve just outside of town, almost swamp-like. Lots and lots of birds.
But they're fighting for the lady.
In the town of Socorro, we found this miniature railroad museum, and then this large size train that went on about a 1.5 mile ride. So Dorothea and I had to take a ride. Of course, Dorothea just goes nuts over little trains like this, so she was excited like a little girl. Made friends with the engineer. This was quite a long train ride. It was a lot of fun. Then we went into a model railroad shop and saw all the little trains running around.
Oh yeah, they see that in the
Just outside of Alamogordo is White Sands National Monument. We went through this. It was a beautiful park, had a lot of fun. But we did get chased out of there after an hour and a half. This is right next to the White Sands missile range, and they were doing a practice firing, and so they cleared everybody out of the park. When they say white sands, they mean white sands. That sand was really white.
This is impressive.
Yes, it is. What were you saying about vegetation?
Well, you know, sometimes they have, especially when you...
Yeah, I am. Come on. Yes.
Now what I was trying to do here is I took a plastic floor mat from the trunk of the car and I was trying to make a sled out of it. I was hoping to be able to slide down the sand dune. It didn't work very good, but I was certainly picturesque trying.
I know it wasn't working. I mean, it's ludicrous. Oh, come on. Chuck, it's not working.
The road was exceptionally smooth.
Insbesondere unsere Seite, unsere Waldfenster.
After leaving White Sands, New Mexico, we headed back for downtown Almagrado, and we went to a nut farm, okay, a nut house. Okay, actually they raise pecans there. That's the reason why we stopped. We're headed in the general direction of home, from Almagrado to Deming for a night, then 2 nights in Tucson, and then finally on home. On the way to Deming, of course, we stopped by the White Sands Missile Range. That was fascinating. Quite a museum there of the different types of missiles. I still think it's interesting that the missile range here is still active, and when they are going to test fire a new missile, they do clear everybody out of White Sands, New Mexico National Park. One last national park. This is the Saguaro National Monument, just outside of Tucson, Arizona. It is a national monument full of different species of cactus, well maintained by the U.S. Forestry Service. They dressed the park up for Halloween by putting ghosts on bushes around the park as you drive through. It was a photogenic park, and it was a lot of fun. This was right at Halloween, so the rangers had put up ghosts attached to these bushes or cactuses along the road. It was kind of funny. Well, it was a fun trip. October 2013, we celebrated 49 years, had a lot of fun, got to see a lot. And after Tucson, we headed for home.